Hello and welcome to Old Lang Schmooze.
The Edinburgh Jewish Cultural Centre podcast.
I'm Ella,
And I'm Hannah.
and today we're going to give you a crash course to Jewish life in Edinburgh as a student. Or anyone really. What makes this episode particularly special, I think, for me and Hannah is that we ourselves met as Edinburgh University students about 4 years ago. I was an incoming second year and Hannah was just starting her first year. And we met at a Friday night dinner at the Edinburgh University Jewish Society, or JSOC. Hannah, where should Jewish students start out when first coming to Edinburgh?
From a Jewish student front, the best place to go is JSOC as a start. So that would be the Edinburgh University Jewish Society. They have a huge range of events from enormous 150-person dinners to small, intimate bagel lunches every Thursday at the chaplaincy.
The chaplaincy building is connected to Potter Row, which is the Edinburgh University Student Union, so it's really central and easy to find. They're extremely welcoming to Jews of all levels of observance. If you think you're not Jewish enough, you absolutely are. That's one of their core principles, really. The big Friday night dinners are especially exciting to be introduced to a surprisingly large amount of Jewish students. But if massive dinners aren't your thing and you prefer something slightly more intimate, then JSOC also has something called families. So you'll get a quote unquote mom or dad who is just a Jewish student on the committee normally, or just a member of JSOC who opens up their flat every couple of weeks and they'll host you for Shabbat dinner. And you'll get a family of about 10 other JSOC members, and it's really, really special as well.
I think also what's fun about JSOC is you play a lot of Jewish geography. There's people from all over the world, especially South Africa, London, America, Israel. You'll meet people from so many walks of life. And it does just give you the opportunity to see what you have in common with people that have come from an entirely different background to you. Even we started there 4 years ago. I think another good way to get involved in the Jewish community, especially if you want to stay active or be on a team and have that kind of relationship with your friends, is to join Maccabi Marchment, which has a netball and football team. It's You compete against the other sports teams at the uni, the other recreational sports teams. So you'll be against informatics teams maybe, or the engineers teams, or the history boys. There are quite a few teams, and you know what? They've done really well in the past, and they're coming for gold this year.
It's fantastic, and I didn't actually have this when I was president in the 2021 to 2022 academic year, but it's been started since, and it's really flourished. I would say it's a huge selling point of the society as well. So there's just so many ways that you can get involved. And on top of all of that, JSOC also puts on other socials that happen pretty frequently, I would say. Hannah, what do you think?
I would say between Friday night dinners and socials, it's at least once a month, but honestly, more often than that. And there are socials in your families, there's socials as scavenger hunts, there are socials for postgrads, there are socials for everyone that range from big to small. You don't have to be at a massive club or at a massive Friday night dinner to have that social aspect of JSOC. So if that's not really what you're there for, if you want to build those more personal relationships, you have that opportunity just as much.
And something else that's really exciting is Hannah's the postgraduate representative this year, which means that regardless of whether you're doing your undergrad, your postgrad, or even if you're a working professional in Edinburgh and you're Jewish and you want to get involved and meet other Jewish people, there's something for you and there's something for everyone. Hannah, how did you decide to be the representative this year?
Just to create a community of the postgraduate Jews in Edinburgh that still want to stay involved in the Jewish cultural and religious, if you like, life that Edinburgh has to offer. Sometimes the Friday night dinners can be a little bit overwhelming, and the struggles of being a postgrad and writing a dissertation, and you could be in your postgraduate life living in Edinburgh working, but it is hard and it is sometimes not relatable to be with all of the undergraduate students. So we just want to create a community where we can share and commiserate and have each other to support one another where it can just be a difficult time.
So, for those of us who are observant in any way, shape, or form, there are three main synagogues or shuls in Edinburgh. There's Sukkot Shalom, which is the liberal synagogue. For us Americans, that's sort of equivalent to a Reformed denomination, but slightly different. Then there's Edinburgh Hebrew Congregation, which is the Orthodox synagogue in the city. And then there is Chabad. Each of these three synagogues host their own student and non student events. They're pretty frequent. You can find them all on their Facebook pages, and they also will be hosting high holiday services, which we'll touch on a little bit later in the podcast. So, whether you're a student or not, there's also the Edinburgh Jewish Cultural Centre, or EJCC for short. That is the organization behind the very podcast that you're listening to. It's also the organization that Hannah and I are both a part of. I'm currently a trustee, I'm their secretary, and Hannah is their administrator.
I just think that if you're looking for a way to stay in touch with your Judaism, but you're not sure how religious you feel or if you want to join a synagogue, this is a really, really good way to do it. All of the events are really engaging. They care about you. You're meeting people from different parts of the Edinburgh Jewish community, from different ages. You're getting out of that student community and more into the locals of Edinburgh, the local Jewish people, and you get to hear about their valuable experience.
EJCC is a wonderful place to come for anything from Torah learning in sessions that we call Learning for All to events like EJCC Live, which include interviews with writers and musicians in the local Edinburgh Jewish community. And then one of my personal favorites, which is Cooking Continents.
Things like Cooking Continents, which we learned about kosher cuisines from around the world from EJCC members. So we had cooking from India, we had cooking from Israel. We're coming out with another series next year where we'll have even more countries represented. It's just fun, and you get to eat food, and you get to meet people, and you get to learn about these different cultures that you might not have come across in any other way.
The EJCC is open to all. You don't have to be Jewish, and we put on both online and live events. So come one, come all, because it's a really fun time. Apart from the really special events that EJCC puts on, for me, I think the most important part of what it's meant to me to be a part of this organization is that I've found my surrogate Jewish family really in Edinburgh. Just having people in my corner who've lived the Jewish experience in the UK and in Edinburgh, it's been really meaningful to me. I'm far from home, I'm from Chicago originally. So having them there for me has been everything, really.
Recently, it has been really difficult sometimes to be a Jewish person in Edinburgh, and it has felt a little bit isolating. But I think you would agree that between all of the communities that we have around us, you can always find people to talk to and people to support you and people to have these raw discussions with that just really want to hear how you feel. So while sometimes it does feel a little bit lonely, you are never actually alone when you're here.
Other people who have made me feel really at home here are the Jewish student chaplains, Eliran and Ayala Shabo. Their entire job is to be there for Jewish students. They work through the University Jewish Chaplaincy in the UK. They have a really beautiful home that they open all the time to Jewish students, whether it be for Shabbat or for Havdalah or for high holidays or anything in between. I've been to many Thanksgiving dinners there because they understand that there's quite a few American Jews here as well who might be missing it. But yeah, anything you need from them, they're there for you.
And on the chaplains, they are the best hosts, the kindest hosts. They want you to reach out to them. So you never feel like a burden when you come to them with your problems because they truly want to help you. And I think that's honestly one of the best parts of being with them. I think another really great thing about Edinburgh is because we're such a small community, it can be difficult to find high holiday materials, but JSOC and especially the chaplains will deliver care packages around Pesach, around Rosh Hashanah, but especially during Pesach when it can be a little bit difficult to find kosher for Passover foods. They'll give you the matzah you need, the matzah meal. They'll start you off so that you're not so hungry and sad without your regular noodles and toast and pesto pasta average student meal. And I think on that front, there are other places to get kosher food in and around the city. It is a little bit more difficult to find, but if you look for it, it's there. So there is a kosher section at the Sainsbury's in Cameron Toll. It's a very short bus ride away. If you're on your way to King's Campus, you'll walk right past it. So it's very good for all of the engineers in the room. The chaplains are always up and about at Costco, and they are happy to bring you along with them. Just ask them. Costco also has a large range of kosher foods, kosher section with easy to find labels. So you'll be fine there. And then, of course, the delicious food from Mark's Deli in Glasgow, which does provide a lot of the food for JSOC events, for Edinburgh Hebrew Congregation events. A lot of the kosher events in Edinburgh will have been provided for by Mark's Deli. Sometimes people travel there, they'll bring things back, and you know the Jewish community in Edinburgh. If you ask someone to bring you back a little something, they will.
And sort of a well-kept secret is that you can get in touch with people at EHC, Edinburgh Hebrew Congregation, and put in a semi-regular order with them to Mark's Deli if you need anything kosher on a more regular basis, and they'll be able to bring it for you.
If you're looking for a Jewish community in the immediate future, Rosh Hashanah is coming up, and JSOC is hosting a massive traditional Rosh Hashanah dinner on October 2nd, which is a Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. You'll get the location upon sign up. You get a student discount if you're from any university in Scotland, so it's definitely worth coming. It's a multi-course meal. There's a lot of alcohol involved, and you will have a really, really fun time. The sign-up deadline is September 26th, so make sure you sign up. The sign-up details are on the EUSA website, the Edinburgh University Student Association website, on the Jewish Society page. All of the listed tickets will be there. You also get a discount if you are a Edinburgh JSOC member. You have cheaper tickets. So it's worth signing up for a membership. You get discounted Friday night dinners the whole rest of the year. And you get a lot of other benefits of being in the Jewish Society, especially the ball, which will come at the end of the year. So definitely come to Rosh Hashanah dinner. It'll be fun. You'll have fun. It's worth going. I've been every year. Absolutely worth finding your community there.
You can find the Jewish Society at Edinburgh_JSOC, JSOC, on Instagram. You can find them on Facebook at Edinburgh University Jewish Society. You can also find us, the EJCC, the Edinburgh Jewish Cultural Centre, on Instagram at EJCC Scot, SCOT. No underscores, no full stops. And you can also find us on Facebook under our name. And with that, I think that all there's left to say is,
thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to Edinburgh.
Thanks very much to Hannah Handelman for co-hosting this episode of Old Lang Schmooze with me, Ella Lambert, and thank you for listening to this episode. And you can find our website at jcc.scot.